Hey everyone! My spidey senses are absolutely tingling right now. And here's why. I believe we're about to see round 2 of a massive crypto pump. And the timing couldn't be more perfect. We just received huge confirmation on our USTD dominance chart that's got me incredibly excited.
The bearish divergences we've been watching, they're now confirmed, which historically signals another major pump is incoming. And guess what? This timing perfectly aligns with something massive happening in the crypto world tomorrow. If you're finding this analysis valuable, smash that like button and share this video, because what I'm about to tell you is game-changing. Here's the bombshell news from Ash Crypto that has me fired up. The Federal Reserve is hosting a conference tomorrow focused entirely on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency payments. Let that sink in for a moment. Jerome Powell and the Fed, this private entity that's been resistant to crypto, is now dedicating their time and energy to understanding cryptocurrencies. They're finally accepting reality, and if they don't adapt quickly, they'll be left behind. The conference agenda is fascinating, and it reminds me a lot of what Ripple and XRP have been building toward. Check this out. The theme is bridging traditional finance with the digital asset ecosystem. This isn't just talk anymore, folks. Major players are attending, including Chainlink, Paxos, and Circle. Now, I don't see Ripple on the guest list, but honestly, that doesn't matter. Ripple has already been having these conversations behind closed doors. This conference is really just a public show to demonstrate that the world is moving forward whether traditional finance likes it or not. What we're witnessing is the collision of two financial worlds. Traditional finance is being forced to meet digital finance, and they're going to have to find balance. The agenda covers tokenized products, stablecoin use cases, all the innovations we've been tracking in this space. This could be absolutely amazing news dropping tomorrow. Which brings me to an interesting question. Are we timing another major news event that could push Bitcoin to unprecedented heights? I'm talking about Bitcoin potentially traveling to $120,000. Now, here's why I decided to make this video right now. About 30 minutes ago, we got a crucial update on our charts. The bearish divergences on the USDT dominance chart, they've been officially confirmed. Let me break this down for you because it's critical to understand. When this USDT dominance chart dumps, Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and everything else flies upward. When this chart pumps, crypto dumps. It's that simple. We now have a confirmed triple bearish divergence, and we've dropped below the yellow line on the RSI. That's the RSI-based moving average. Here's what's fascinating about this signal. Every single time we've gone below this RSI moving average in the past, we've seen strong moves downward in USDT dominance. Let me walk you through the history. First occurrence, strong move down, which meant Bitcoin and other cryptos soared to heights people thought were impossible. Second occurrence, another strong downward move with the same explosive crypto results. The smaller movements were brief fakeouts, but the pattern held. Based on this confirmed signal, we could see USDT dominance make a strong move downward, which historically means Bitcoin could realistically reach $124,000, potentially even surpassing its previous all-time high. And here's where it gets really exciting for altcoin holders. XRP could honestly head toward $3.60. We might be looking at XRP making its most explosive move right now or very soon. So here's what we have. Charts pointing toward massive bullishness for cryptocurrencies, plus a major news event dropping tomorrow. Whew. I'm getting that same electric feeling again. We might be witnessing another white swan event that pumps every single cryptocurrency to the moon. This is absolutely fantastic to see, and I want to witness it unfold. I want to see that USTD dominance chart keep dropping, and I believe it will. Speaking of bullish signals, here's something that'll blow your mind.
An insider with a 100% hit rate just opened massive Bitcoin and Ethereum longs worth $255 million total. Let me break this down. Bitcoin long, $174 million opened at $108,000. Bitcoin is currently around $110,000. Ethereum long, $79 million opened at $4,000. ETH is just below that level. This insider is already in profit on Bitcoin. And while Ethereum and other coins like XRP are lagging behind, history tells us that altcoins will catch up heavily once this momentum builds. Here's the kicker. This same insider appears to have perfectly timed that Black Swan event from a couple weeks ago. Some people are speculating it's Baron Trump, but honestly, I don't think so. Regardless of who it is, when someone with a perfect track record drops $255 million on crypto longs, we should pay attention. Now, let's talk about another major catalyst. Justin from Watcher Guru reports that President Trump has been invited to visit China in early 2026 by Xi Jinping. The relationship dynamics here are fascinating. Some days they're friendly, other days they're going at each other's throats. But here's the critical timeline. Trump says China may face 155% tariffs if there's no trade deal by November 1st. This creates a perfect setup for what I call a buy the rumor, sell the news scenario. Picture this. Bitcoin pumps leading up to November 1st as markets anticipate a positive trade deal. Then, if Trump and China actually announce a deal on November 1st, we could see a classic sell the news event, where prices drop despite the positive outcome. President Trump sounds confident about making a strong trade deal with China, which is definitely bullish for markets. However, we need to be smart about timing. If we're already at new highs when the news breaks, the market reaction might be the opposite of what everyone expects. But before we get ahead of ourselves, there's one critical thing that needs to happen first. I've been saying this consistently. We need to get above just one indicator, the 5-day moving average on the daily chart.
It's really that simple, folks. Below this yellow moving average, storm clouds and bear market conditions. Above it, sunshine and rainbows, pure bullish momentum. Right now, we're below this moving average, where the storm has been raging, but the sun is starting to peek through. Once we break above this level, it's game on for the entire crypto market. And here's another catalyst that just dropped. President Trump announced a new trade deal with Australia, focusing on critical and rare earth minerals. This is fantastic news, and another piece of the puzzle explaining why we're seeing this pump. Here's how I knew we were going to pump, and it all comes down to market psychology. At the beginning of what everyone thought was a bear market, my timeline was flooded with bearish sentiment. People were shorting the bottom, while we were heading straight to new all-time highs. The reason? Twitter consensus was extremely bearish. And here's the thing, the elites don't like that. The insiders, the market manipulators, or as I call them, Aladdin, hate when everyone knows what they're going to do. They love playing tricks. I believe they're pumping it precisely because everyone was being too bearish. Most people will stay bearish until Bitcoin returns to its previous all-time high. Then they'll suddenly switch to bullish. But here's the kicker. That's when Aladdin might do something completely different. Perfect example. I saw this mega bear on Bitcoin saying things like Sailor could get liquidated, Bitcoin could trade sideways for a decade, another better Bitcoin could emerge tomorrow, and don't expect Trump to follow through on his promises. That's absolutely diabolical thinking. The psychology of markets is fascinating to study because it affects all of us. Retail traders, you, me, because we're human and we have emotions. The only way to win this game is to have no emotions. You must become like Aladdin, or align with that energy, because algorithms don't have emotions.
Brian Armstrong from Coinbase made an interesting point. You don't need to buy a full Bitcoin or Ethereum to get started. He's basically using stock market psychology here. In traditional stocks, you typically buy full shares, but with crypto, you can buy fractional amounts. This is actually a brilliant luring mechanism for people who don't have much money to invest in crypto. As Armstrong says, you could start buying and holding cryptos with a few dollars. It's never too late. That's absolutely true. Though personally, I'd stay away from Bitcoin and ETH. That's just my perspective. I know the likely outcome for those coins. But XRP? That's different. It's a special coin, a precious opportunity. But here's the reality. We need as many buyers as possible to drive prices higher, regardless of which coins they choose. Speaking of buying, Michael Saylor's strategy just acquired another 168 Bitcoin for $18.8 million at $112,000 per Bitcoin. They've achieved a 26% Bitcoin yield year to date and now hold an incredible 640,000 Bitcoin with an average price of $74,000. Here's an interesting thought. Bitcoin will obviously go below $74,000 at some point. Not yet, but eventually it will. I wonder what happens when that occurs. For now, though, it needs to keep going higher, and we need Michael Saylor to keep doing what he's doing. We absolutely need Michael Saylor to keep doing what he's doing. Let me explain the genius method he's using. MicroStrategy does capital raises to fund Bitcoin purchases, which drives their stock price appreciation. This appreciation then enables even more capital raises, which they use to buy more Bitcoin. It's a beautiful, self-reinforcing cycle that we desperately need in this market. This strategy is definitely happening. Though I'll admit, $18 million seems a bit low compared to their previous purchases. Has the momentum disappeared? It seems like it to me, but hopefully people get excited and start buying again.
Here's some incredible news. Total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume surpassed $2 billion in just the first 2 hours of trading today. That's absolutely massive volume. And get this, trillion-dollar BlackRock just announced they're launching a Bitcoin ETP in the UK today. All these Bitcoin products are getting launched like never before, and it's all happening this week. The institutional adoption is accelerating at an unprecedented pace. That wraps up today's analysis, but keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow, because I believe we're going to see more bullish events. Another white swan event could be appearing, which should blast Bitcoin to new all-time highs and potentially push XRP to that $3.60 target we've been discussing. I'm truly excited about what's unfolding in this market. The convergence of technical signals, institutional adoption, regulatory clarity, and market psychology is creating the perfect storm for explosive moves higher. If this analysis helped you understand what's happening in the crypto markets right now, smash that like button, share this video with anyone who needs to see it, and make sure you're subscribed for tomorrow's update. We're potentially on the verge of something historic in cryptocurrency, and I'll be here to break it all down for you as it happens. Until next time, stay bullish and keep stacking. See you in the next one.